which is why I'm going to invest in early childhood education to close the achievement gap and make sure that every child is prepared for school. And then I won't just talk about how great teachers are, K through 12. We're going to pay them for their greatness by giving them higher salaries, giving them more support. And we need the highest standards for our kids. We've got to have high standards. They're going to be competing against children in China and India. So we've got to have high standards. But I don't want those high standards measured just by a single high-stakes standardized test, by No Child Left Behind, because I don't want teachers teaching to the test. I want kids learning art and music and science and all the things that we could count on when we were kids. Our kids should be getting the same thing. And I don't know about you, but I think we have to make college affordable for young Americans. So we're gonna invest $4,000 tuition credit every student every year, so they're not loaded up with $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of debt when they graduate. But let me say this. We are going to have to ask something in return from those young people. They're going to have to provide some community, provide some national service, work in a homeless shelter, work in a veterans home, join the Peace Corps. We'll invest in them, but they'll invest back in America, and together we can march this country forward. That's the way America gets things done. Everybody pulling together. Finally, to do all this, we've also got to change our foreign policy. You know, it is so important to understand that this war in Iraq, even if we ended it now, is going to have cost us $1 trillion. We've been piling up a mountain of debt for the next generation, and it hasn't made us more safe. We have been distracted from going after bin Laden and going after Al-Qaeda, those who killed 3,000 Americans. Now, my job as Commander-in-Chief will be to keep you safe. I'll do whatever's required to accomplish that. I won't hesitate to strike against those who would do us harm. But that means keeping the finest military in the world, and that means training our troops properly, equipping them properly, putting them on proper rotations, treating them properly when they come home. No more homeless veterans. No more begging for disability payments. They have earned our honor and respect, and we treat them with honor and respect. But it also means using our military wisely. The war in Iraq was unwise. That's why I opposed it in 2002. That's why I will bring this war to an end in 2009. It is time to bring our troops home. And when people tell you, by the way, when John McCain says, you can't bring them home now. You can't bring them out precipitously. Nobody's talking about a precipitous withdrawal. We're talking about bringing people out at a steady pace, 1 to 2 brigades per month. At that pace, it'll take us 6 troops out. 16 months. If we don't start until I take office, that's 2 years from now. That means we will have been in Iraq for 7 years. If the Iraqi government can't get its act together and they can't solve their problems politically in 7 years, they won't solve it in 14 years, solve it in 21 years, they won't solve it in 28 years. It's time to bring our troops home. But I don't want to just bring our troops home. I don't want to just end this war. I want to end the mindset that got us in the war. I want to end the mindset in the war. I want to restore a sense of diplomacy. I said very early on that I will not just meet with countries I like, but countries I don't. Not just with our friends, but with our enemies. And some people said, well, you can't do that. John McCain, Hillary Clinton, George Bush, they all criticized me. But I said, yes, I can. That's what I will do, because I remember what John F. Kennedy once said. He said, you can never negotiate out of, but we can never fear to negotiate. That's what strong countries and strong presidents do. They talk to their adversaries. They tell them where America stands. When we do that, we don't, yes, we will lead on hunting down terrorists, but we also have to lead on diplomacy. We also have to lead on helping poor countries deal with HIV/AIDS and hunger and the lack of education. We also have to lead on dealing with genocide in Darfur. We also have to lead and we should also lead on human rights and civil liberties. And that starts, by the way, here at home. That's why I want to close Guantanamo and restore habeas corpus and end warrantless wiretaps. Because you need a president who has taught the Constitution and believes in the Constitution and will obey the Constitution of the United States of America. So, that's our agenda. That's our mission. That's what we're working toward. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. We can do it. We can do it. I'm reminded every day of my life, if not by events, then by my wife, that I am not a perfect man. I will not be a perfect president. But here's what I can promise you. Here's what I can promise you. I promise you this, I will always tell you what I think. I will always tell you where I stand. I will be honest with you about the challenges we face as a nation. I will tell you even when we disagree, and we're going to disagree sometimes. We'll disagree, my wife and I disagree sometimes. We've been together 15 years. This is a big, complicated country. We're going to disagree sometimes. But we can disagree without being disagreeable. We can focus on what we have in common and do good work together. And here's the most important thing. I will spend every day that I'm in the White House, I will take the stories that you tell me, and I'll be working for you and fighting for you. I'll be thinking about that single mom who's trying to get help for her kid. I'll be thinking about those workers at Borg-Warner who are losing their job and don't know where to turn. I will be thinking about that veteran who is trying to get his disability payments after serving his country. I will be listening to you and fighting for you. And if you give me that chance, if you vote for me here in Indiana, I promise you we won't just win Indiana nomination, we'll win the general election, you and I together. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody, have a seat. Have a seat. Thank you. Oh, this crowd's fired up.